Helsingør is the largest city and the main shopping destination in North Zealand, with over 1 million visitors a year. The HH ferry route connects Helsingør with Helsingborg in Sweden. The oldest known fortified building of Helsingør is Flindenborg, an early medieval fortress situated on a hill just south of the medieval city. Around 1200, the first church, St. Olaf's Church, was built. A number of convents once surrounded the church, but now all that remains is the church building, today the Cathedral of Diocese of Helsingør. The oldest parts of the Cathedral of Helsingør date back to the 13th century and tell us that the fisherman's village, as Helsingør was then, had grown into a town of importance. The name Helsingør is derived from the word Hals, meaning neck or narrow strait, referring to the narrowest point of the Öresund, between what is now Helsingør and Helsingborg, Sweden. Helsingør, as it's known today, was founded in the 1420s by the Danish king Erik of Pomerania. He established the Sound Dues in 1429, meaning all foreign ships passing through the strait had to pay a toll, which constituted up to 2/3 of Denmark's state income. With this income, Erik of Pomerania built the castle Krogen. The castle was expanded in the 1580s and renamed Kronborg. All ships had to stop in Helsingør to get their cargo taxed and pay a toll to the Danish crown. But it also generated a significant trade for the town. In 1672, Helsingør had grown into the third biggest town in Denmark. The downtown core of Helsingør is also referred to as the pedestrian zone. It is home to many famous and cozy stores where you can find almost anything for anyone. There are several bakeries, banks, beauty salons, bookstores, a butcher's shop, electronics and appliance stores, footwear and accessory stores, fresh produce shops, home decor stores, jewellery stores, quite a few liquor stores, a post office, as well as plenty of boutiques catering to those shopping for women's, men's and children's apparel. Kronborg, a castle and a stronghold, was immortalised as Elsinore in William Shakespeare's play Hamlet. Kronborg attained its current name when it was rebuilt by King Frederick II into a grand Renaissance palace, unrivalled anywhere in Europe. All but the exterior walls were destroyed in a fire during the 17th century. It was rebuilt in only 10 years, but the interiors never attained their former glory. Only 20 years later, another disaster struck the castle when Swedish troops bombarded and conquered Kronborg, taking with them many priceless treasures as spoils of war. Many of them are now on display in various Swedish museums. Following the Swedish conquest, demonstrating its reputation as impregnable was all but a myth. The Danish king ordered the defences strengthened. A new advanced line of defence and ramparts around the castle to keep the myth alive were built. Subsequently, the castle was used as a prison, until the army took and used the castle's barracks until the 1920s. It was finally opened to the public in 1935, following nearly 10 years of renovations. The Castle Kronborg is an outstanding example of a Renaissance castle, and one which played a highly significant role in the history of Northern Europe. Since the last soldier left Kronborg in the early 90s, life has been breathed back into the lovely centuries-old garrison buildings, with extensive renovations and allowing the increased number of artists to set up a small creative colony within the castle, with galleries selling and displaying various forms of art and industrial design. The royal apartments are located on the first floor of the north wing. The apartments were originally furnished by Frederick II around 1576, but after the fire in 1629, Christian IV had the apartments refurbished and richly decorated with ceiling paintings, stone portals and chimney pieces. The original floors were tiled with black and white, which were replaced with wooden floorboards in 1760 to 61, and the walls were clad with gilt leather. The King's Chamber has a bay window located right above the castle's main portal, from which the King could keep an eye on guests arriving to the castle, whereas the Queen's Chamber has access to a vaulted tower chamber overlooking the flag bastion. The ballroom was the largest hall in Northern Europe when it was completed in 1582. The walls are hung with a series of large paintings which were originally made from 1618 to 1631 for the Great Hall of Rosenborg Castle in Copenhagen. The present floor and fireplaces are from the rebuilding in 1924 to 38. The walls of the little hall are furnished with 7 tapestries, originally from a series of 40 tapestries portraying 100 Danish kings. The tapestries were commissioned by Frederick II around 1580. 7 more tapestries are at the National Museum of Denmark, while the rest have been lost. The chapel is located on the ground floor of the south wing and was inaugurated in 1582. In 1785, as the castle was being fitted for use as army barracks, the chapel was fitted out as a gymnasium and fencing hall, and the fernight stored away. The chapel was refurnished with the original furniture in 1838 and re-inaugurated in 1843. According to legend, Holger or Ogier the Dane, son of King Godfred, is a great warrior who served the Charlemagne and led his troops to victory against the Arabs. He was then taken to Avalon by the sorceress Morgan Le Fay, from where he returns after 200 years to save France. After the battle, he walked away and sat down in his current location in the dungeons below Kronborg to rest. His petrified body only to wake and come into flesh and blood if Denmark is in mortal danger. On that day he will gather all the remaining men of the land, young and old, and fight until blood reaches their knees. Victory only assured when there are no more Danes that can be seated around a table. But then peace will last many a year. Thanks for watching this Nocturnal Customs Limited production. Find us and give us a like on Facebook, and be sure to follow us on Twitter for more posts, videos and updates. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube, where we will be bringing you more regular content on filmmaking, animation, my original music, the occasional cover song, as well as more of our feature project releases as they happen. You can find out more information about us on nocturnal3d.com or contact me directly by emailing visualnz@gmail.com. If you like, you can also follow or contact us on Twitter, where we regularly post as NocturnalNZ, or you can keep in contact by giving us a like on Facebook at Nocturnal Customs.